We are on our way to Ruidoso, high in the elevation, 74 degrees, Sunday morning, June the 8th, 2025, at about 9:15 a.m. Very, very nice, beautiful morning driving into Ruidoso from Alto, New Mexico, and I'm in the wrong lane and they're going to try to cut me off because this lane ends. There is the Alto storage building facility on the right. But you know, I was riding with Jennifer the other day, my chauffeur, and she used the word tump. She said something was going to tump over. Well, you see, that is a word that is very, very rarely used. You know, and I'm sure there's millions of others, but while I'm driving along here, you can enjoy the view, and I can just think out loud about words and things. Ergo, there's another one. Ergo, you know, like therefore. I think, ergo, I am. How about that? Tump over. Cute. Very cute. But you know, I don't know how many of you read books. Some of you may not read at all. Some of you may read a lot. But I've read a lot of different authors, and some of them have such a command of the English language that it just fascinates me. Michener, James Michener is one of them. The other one is Somerset Maugham, you know, and you know, Kipling does pretty good. And all those guys, you know, they just put together words, and you can, well, they paint a picture with words, you know what I mean? They can be so descriptive using adjectives and adverbs that, you know, you can just see it. The person, the clothing, the building, the sunset, the ocean, whatever, you know, they just nail it. What's that got to do with RVing and the price of living, cost of living? Nothing. But this is the kind of video I like to do, you know, just a nothing video, you know. That way I don't have to really think or plan. I just start blabbing, my brain starts putting stuff together, and sometimes it's almost enjoyable to me. Okay, here we are again. We're in Ruidoso, New Mexico. Gasoline here is $2.89 a gallon for regular unleaded, and that is the cheapest place to get it right there on the right. Now we got a 5% grade downhill. And isn't that pretty though? Come right at, I mean, from the desert where I live to here, it's a 100% change, you know what I mean? Because near Ruidoso, it's just flat, high desert. And then you get here in the piney woods and the elevation. It's really nice. I love this change. I love to be able to drive 20 or 30 minutes and be in a whole new area, a whole new atmosphere, a whole new thing, you know? And that's what I like about my little home base in Ruidoso, among a lot of others. But yeah, and it's not that far to go on to Cloudcroft if you wanted to, from from Ruidoso to Cloudcroft. It was probably about a good hour. Yeah, hour drive, yeah. Jump down, turn around, pick a bale of cotton. Jump down, turn around, pick a bale a day. This little cafe up here on the left is called the Alto Cafe. And I'm sure they'll be busy this morning, Sunday morning. Everybody goes out to breakfast, I guess. Yeah, you can see it on the left there. You got the cars everywhere. Right here. Yeah. And you can still see the remains of the forest fire they had last year. Some of those trees are burned. But it is a wonderful place to be in the summers. Ruidoso, New Mexico, and this area. The climate is nice. It's cool in the summers. Humidity is low. And yeah, it's and the cost of living here, not high. It's not, well, you can make it anything you want. You know, it could be high or low or in between, but Isn't that a pretty view out across there? I mean, just look at that. Lovely, isn't it? Right across those mountains. Of course, where the bulk of the fire hit, right in here, as you can see from those bare mountain tops there on the left. But be that as it may, we don't talk about that. So yeah, we're just cruising into Ruidoso, grocery day. I'm going to go to Albertsons. I'll get my potatoes. I'll get a russet potato and a sweet potato and make me some potato salad. And then I'll get some whole wheat bread. You know, the word whole means a whole lot, you know, because it's good bread. You know, it's got a little fiber and stuff. And yeah. And then I'll go to Walmart and load up on beer and wine and yogurt and stuff like that. And I'll have enough I've still got enough cooked food, you know, chicken breasts and pork tenderloin to last, another 2 weeks anyway. Because I cook it, cut it up, put it in bags and freeze it. Isn't this a good video? I mean, these are the kind that every creator ought to do. No kidding. Because that way there'd be no stress. See, you wouldn't have to worry about their music, you know, or doing something dumb, or maybe they've got a political point of view or religious point of view or whatever. Yeah, just make them generic, you know, throw a little beauty into it and away you go, you see. Well, let's see, this is an Allsup station here, gasoline station and other stuff, and it's $2.89 for regular unleaded and $3.89 for diesel. My. You know, and a lot of people years ago bought diesels because they got better gas mileage. True, they do. Most of them do. And the engine lasts longer. But, I mean, the difference between regular unleaded and diesel was usually about 20 cents. Now it's $1. Yo. Pretty drive, guys, coming into Ruidoso, but if you get off the main drag here, can you get turned around? Yep, you sure can. Have I ever done it? Yep, I sure have. Yeah, when I first started coming to Ruidoso, you know, I'd go off on the side streets. Well, I'm telling you, you can get whacked there or turned around. Let's see, what's this street? This street here is called Meacham. M-E-C-H-E-M, Meacham. And Meacham runs into Sutterth, I think, on down here. Yeah, they got on the left. If you turn left at this deal here, you go to the convention center, and they also have a beautiful golf course, and it's a good place to go walking. I've done that. Yep. But we're not too far from Albertsons, so we'll let this go till we get there. There's another place that must be pretty good. That's called the Log Cabin Restaurant. And I bet they got 200 cars there, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's not cheap to go out and eat, and everybody knows that. Even for breakfast, you know, you go out and eat breakfast one person, you're looking at 10 or 15 bucks in a restaurant, probably minimum, you know? And you can get those eggs with listeria in them and no additional charge. Beautiful little town, Ruidoso, New Mexico, on Sunday morning, June the 8th, I think, 2025, at 9:24 a.m. Yeah, they got all the stuff you need here for shopping. There's a True Value Hardware there. They got a Walmart, Albertsons grocery store, and downtown on the main drag, which we'll go through later. You won't see it today because I probably won't do a video of it because I've done a lot of them before. But my point is, if you go downtown, man, there's all kinds of shops. Everything you can think of. Everything the tourists don't need, but will buy. Okay, we're almost to the turn to Albertsons. You know, gasoline here is 10 cents a gallon higher than Carrizozo. And this guy's coming out, isn't he? He sure is. And Carrizozo is about 30 to 40 cents higher than Alamogordo. All right, here we go. And here, this goes into Albertsons. Bump, bump, bump. And Eastern New Mexico University Community College. How about that? So I'm going to park out here. Why? I like to park way out here like this. I don't really have a reason other than I get a little walking, a little exercise, and that ain't going to hurt me. You know, some people will run over you trying to get as close as they can to the store, and they're the ones that need the most exercise. But having said that, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything you want, anytime. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Doesn't cost you a penny. Drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, stand guard at the door of your mind, and if you're ever in the area, stop by Ruidoso. I think you'll like it. Adios, amigos. Rangers, bye-bye.